How's it going, everyone? It is Monday, August 12th, 2024. We're going to get in the pics of the video last week. Apologies for the late upload. I had recorded the video, got the audio a little corrupted, had to do some minor fixing on that, and then just actually forgot to post it. Had totally slipped past my head. So apologies for that, but we're going to get right into the pics. You'll see everything is still time-stamped in that video. I am short FTRE right now. I'm just going to load this in another tab. I can keep an eye on my guy right here. Nice short. So we know we have three swings. I called out NFE as a day trade short, and I called TTD as a day trade long. So let's look at these stocks right here. We're going to go back. Oh boy. Oh, I also forgot. I was watching QQQ the whole time. Would you look at that? All right. Okay. So, NFE, day trade short here. You can see that stock had made a huge move lower. I said wait for the pullback, and then here we got our breakdown right here. So we got the breakdown at 135. This is where I would have shorted if I saw this setup. I really, really like this setup right here. Huge, heavy volume. Now, pullback was decent, but market was pretty weak that day. So I think this is a great opportunity. You can see how the stock had bounced pretty strongly over here. So I would have taken the loss probably at the 2 o'clock candle. This would have been an average size loss. You can see ATR of 144. So take it at 12.79, and then I would have taken the loss at probably 13.49. So about a 70-cent loss, which is a little bit more than the winners, but nothing too crazy. But that did save us quite a bit. Now you can see that the stock did actually end up scratching over here at VWAP, but this is a pretty strong move. So I think I would have got out over here, and then I could probably even get back in on the trade over here at 310 when I see the market starting to fail over here, and then you can get back in this trade short at 329. You can take some profits over here, and you can make a little bit of your money back. So overall, I would call this as a loss. I actually didn't end up taking the trade, but if I did, I would have taken it here, and I probably would have got out either at the 155 candle or the 2 o'clock candle. The 155 candle would have put me on alert, because this is a move that really should not have happened, in my opinion. Right? When you're going short here, this tells me that, okay, we're probably going to get a double top right now. I'd want to see if we can actually hold above this prior high, but we closed above it. We had rising R volume, and then we got the confirmation candle. So that tells me, look, we might have, I'm not sure if we're going to reverse or not, but this is going to be a pretty decent pop. I'm actually not sure how tall we're going to bounce here. And then we actually end up breaking through back over here. Nice sell signal. So you could have taken the loss, got back in the trade. If you had a little bit more confidence, maybe you're leading on VWAP, you had a chance to take a small loss on the trade over here. I'd take the loss at 335 once the market starts to rally back up. So now you take a much smaller loss versus a big loss and then a small win. Either way, I think you take the loss. So happens on NFE. Not to worry about that. Take a look at fire here. Nice, got my fill. I'm going to keep an eye out for this candle here. TTD, nice move. Again, post earnings, you can see that we're trading this post earnings strength and weakness. So TTD moved up higher. We're just compressing, digesting all of the gains, and then we started to get some lift off. Now here was the key on TTD. You can see that testing. We're rubbing up against this trend line, but the stock is forming these higher lows, right? This tells us that buyers are still engaged. They're not letting the price drop below this level. That is super crucial. Now we get a little poke here, and now we actually start to close above this level here. This 205 candle, to me, that is my signal candle. And we're riding this guy up higher. Now we start to get a little bit of retracement here, some weakness. We start to see some tails above body. So I'd probably take some profits here. I also ended up missing this trade. I had some work meetings. But this would have been a nice win. Get in on the 205 candle, 98.05. You can ride it up higher, take a nice $1.20. And, you know, again, we're getting close to the end of the day. We might see some late day profit taking. You wouldn't mind getting out on that trade over here. Fire is looking pretty good. Sorry why I managed this trade. Starting to accelerate here. Yeah, I'm gonna take some profits on this guy on 1865. There we go. All right, so it might continue a little bit more, but I got a nice little move quickly. And you know, happy to take my profit target on the trade. Not going to think too much about that guy over here. Okay, so TTT was a win. So we're going to color these guys here. Okay, so NFE, first loss for the day, but it also happens. But not a huge loss. All right, let's take a look at what the market's doing, and then we'll take a look at what our picks are looking like. So, as you guys have noticed, I've been posting my written market comments. Some of you guys have liked it, so if it has been helpful for you, that makes me very happy. I'm glad they're able to help you out. Keep in mind, too, again, I'm still learning. I'm trying to put all this stuff together, and this has helped me a lot in terms of helping me prepare to what I need to, helping me prepare to and set my expectations for the day. Long-term fundamental bias, we're still mildly bullish. Again, I don't think anything has materially changed. I don't think we're going to have a crazy recession or anything like that. There's some probabilities of recession risk that has increased for sure, but I don't think we're going to go to hell in a handbasket like Pete has mentioned. I think this is a normal market correction. We know that long-term bullish fundamental tailwinds are still intact. Long-term technical bias is bearish. Bearish, bearish, bearish. We have, again, technical breakdowns, heavy volume. We have lower highs, lower lows. We're through the SMAs. We're through AVWAPQ. We're through the low plus trend lines over here, right? All of those are signals. Heavy selling here. Deep retracement. $50 off the high. That's a 10% retracement from the high, maybe a little bit less, 8%-ish. And now we are bouncing. We're bouncing. Now you can see how, I think today is a pretty key day because we're seeing the bounce starting to wane. You can see that there's a difference between a move that goes parabolic, like in this U shape, like here, and a move that's going parabolic and actually starting to level out. It's actually going a little bit more logarithmic. We're getting, we're not able to move up as high. We're starting to stall out. That's what I'm seeing today. We're right around this 100-day SMA. Now, I'm willing to take heat all the way up to that 50-day SMA on my swings. But I see right now the market is still bouncing, but this is a weak bounce, and we are ready to get in on some of those swing shorts on the next leg lower. Now, throughout the move, we're watching how this is going to unfold. If we get very tall bounces, right, and then not super low lows, that tells us that buyers are still engaged, and we might get a nice little reversal like we got at the end of last year. I think it's very important to reference these patterns from prior years. They really help you contextualize where we are in terms of the market context. Remember, it was bearish over here. I'm watching to see if we get anything like this year. We might not, but if this pattern plays out, it tells us how to play it on the swing shorts, where we start selling as the move stalls out. We cover, right? As when we get this huge move down, maybe get some sort of green candle here, able to close above that prior day high. That tells us that buyers are starting to step in. So we might see the same thing over here, period of seasonal weakness as well. My shorter term market bias is neutral to mildly bullish. Let's go into the M30 chart today. So since this move had, we got the big drop down, the bottom fell out after that Japan yen carry news. and sort of the news slash technical slash positioning of a lot of traders. We got a little rally here. We talked about how sellers were in this rally, knocking it down from the 100-day SMA. Yesterday, or not yesterday, the 8th was a nice little clue because we had a gap up that actually held, and we're starting to rally this level. Now, Dave made a video on his channel. I will try to link it in the description here, where we get a break through this trend line, and when we break down, we might either test it and drop down, or we might just kind of rub up against it, but not really get back into this prior range. And that's actually what's kind of what's happening on the M30. Now, do institutions care about the M30 chart? Probably not. I like to just use it to get a zoomed out view of what's happening over the past couple of days, right? Whereas sort of the tailwinds, it helps me gauge that short-term momentum, the short-term control, who has control, buyers versus sellers. So this move up tells me that, look, buyers do have control, but this is pretty weak control. I don't have a lot of conviction on the buy side, and I know my longer-term market bias is bearish. So if I'm going to take longs, I want to take stocks that are really moving under their own power, like TTD, post-earnings moves, right? Lots of volume. There's buyers in that stock, and the market isn't really going against them. We're getting a little bit of a market tailwind, but not a ton. Now, today you can see how the trend seems to have stalled out. We're actually not able to make a new high. We're sort of stalling over here. So this to me would be the first sign of a potential reversal. We do know that we are making a higher high versus the high that we got on the 7th. However, to me is a marginal new high. And again, the price action has been weak. The volume has been low. And that is the clue, really. Sellers are, when they hit hard and they hit aggressively, and there are a lot of them. When buyers are coming in, there's a lot of volume initially on this first move, right? As institutions are gobbling up at this price, but then they don't have a lot of follow through. This is just a lot of retail buying. This is program buying. It's vulnerable to these knockdowns. So neutral over here on a shorter term bias. I'm not looking to take any longs, obviously. We might take a swing short. I'm going to give a pick today on that. But yeah, very neutral in the shorter term market bias. We have support from this low on 8.5, which was around 5.10. We have resistance. We also have support at the 200-day SMA, which is around 5.01, probably gone up a little bit, maybe 5.02, 5.03. We have resistance at this gap fill, so we kind of filled in this gap here, seeing a little bit of resistance coming through. We also have resistance on the SMA 50 on SPY, which is coming in at around 5.43. And the SMA 100, I think, is a bit of a pivot point. We have been above it, and we spent some time above it, which is bullish. But I haven't seen any very strong price action for me to feel convinced that we've truly cleared it. We're sort of pitter-pattering around this level, and it just might be that little bit of a poke up. You know, I'm wary that we might get this poke up where we get that retail pop, we're buying up over here, and institutions are like, hey, look, retail buyers, we're above the 100-day SMA, they're going to buy aggressively. Now we get in a very nice price to short and whack this market down. That's what I'm watching for over here. Okay, so here is the SPY M5 chart for today. Let's start out with some of the context. I talked about that gap up, held the gap, and we're just kind of chopping up higher. We have this bullish channel, and these channels are going to be very helpful because they tell us how the price is moving, how we're structuring the channel. You can see how we test the downside, test the upside, test the downside, test the upside. This wide bullish channel tells us that buyers have loose control. The tighter the channel, the higher we're going up, right? That tells us that buyers have far stronger control. Now, it also helps us gauge that, look, when we're getting these breakouts, right, this is where you want to be taking profits because this is where institutions are taking profits. We hit the top of this trend line, sell, 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 sell. There's going to be a big pullback. You got to wait probably till the end, probably till next day if you're day trading. If you're taking a CDS, you probably might be fine taking a stock like that. But I find it's far more useful to be one step ahead of the market. So find relatively strong stocks during the dip down, take profits over here, and you can find relatively weak stocks in this move up, take profits on the move down. Be one step ahead, right? So today, and I want to give an example of this today because this is late. It's sort of late in the video. I can't post a great, day trade necessarily, but ALB was one of the trades I took today. This is one of the best trades you can take today. So we know that it's a fantastic D1 chart. This is going to be actually my swing pick for the day. Beautiful breakdown, post earnings, plenty of room, very bearish chart. I mean, this is just a textbook short. There's no reason to not take it, in my opinion. I'm just waiting for a nice little pop over here, get a good price, probably short it at the end of the day. If I can get it, I don't know, maybe it's $76. I'm happy to take that short on ALB. So how you're playing this today? Well, first of all, we know this buys in a bullish channel, gap up, came down, filled in the gap here, test the bottom of that channel. It also hit, by the way, the bottom of this, this relative high right here, right? So here's this high. See, we get a test, and then we break. So this is another test at level. So there's basically those 2 points intersect. That tells us that this is probably a significant price point, and that's confirmed by the price action here. Bulls defended that level. We're able to get a new high of the day. Nice long green candle. This is looking decent, and then we got some mixed candles over here. I took the short on ALB right here. Now, this is why I felt confident in the short. I talked about the D1 chart. Nice steady move down here, and then we're compressing. So from 10 o'clock to about 10:55, we get a kind of a weak drift lower, loss of selling pressure. What's the market doing? Here's 10 o'clock. Here's 10:55. Market rallies, makes a new high of the day. Stock cannot get off the deck. Here's the breakdown here at 11 o'clock. Stock makes a new high of the day at 11. Sorry, market makes a new high of the day at 11. Stock breaks down lower. This is your entry point. Well, you say, look, well, what if it keeps going up? What if it keeps going up? Look, ALB is so weak. We know that this price action is weak. We are mildly bullish here, and we know that when we test the top of this channel, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to reject. If we're wrong about this trade, we can take a small loss or even a scratch or even a small win because we have so much selling pressure in our favor on the stock side. The better your stock picks, great volume, great breakout, great D1, you have more cushion and price and time to get ahead of the market move. I missed my entry a little bit here. I got to the day a little bit late, and I took my entry about 2 candles later, so I missed a little bit of the move, about 30 cents, but still felt very confident in it. We got a nice long red candle. These are happened in these low volume days in August. There's these big candles. Look, this is a $3 drop in SPY. I mean, if you're trading ES here, this is a beautiful candle. Reload on the next bounce. Another long red candle here. Flushed out pretty much the entire hour's worth of gains in a single bar, and then we climb up higher. This is just some crap trading. You need a strong trend over here. So ALB took it short right here, right? Now we get some follow through on the market. Okay, this is looking great. Now let's see what happens on this long red candle on ALB. So this is the setup that we have here. Well, a couple things. We know that one, we are still in a bullish trend. We're in an LPT environment and we're at an inside day. So I don't think this is going to have a lot of follow through, but let's see what happens, right? If there's a chance for follow through, it's probably going to happen right now. If there's no follow through, ALB should still be pretty weak. Now ALB is starting to leak lower, leak lower, leak lower. Market starts to rally a little bit over here. And I take some profits on ALB right here around 1150, which is this candle right here. Market is going above VWAP over here. ALB is holding on pretty well, but we've got a nice little chunk of the move here. Pretty LPTE. Take some gains, get to the sidelines. Rallies a little bit over here. Market starts to rally. ALB losing a little bit of relative weakness, but we're getting some tiny bodied mixed candles. The trend is slowing down. We do make a marginal new low. And now the stock is rallying a little bit, but it's still hugging that low of the day. So it's made a big move. I think it's just exhausted for the day personally. Market is dead. Stock is dead. But that's how I played it, right? You get a great entry point. You ride the trend until the market starts to not do much. The stock starts to stall out here. Even take profits somewhere here. Or if you're more sticky, you can get over here, get out at the double bottom, and you are good to go. So nice win on ALB, but again, not part of the trade. That's just an example of how you can trade these LPT environments. You want to be one step ahead. This is also a little bit earlier in the day, so we still have some nice price action and volume to work with. On these dead days, again, you got to get in a little bit earlier because stocks that have made a move are going to start to die out. And you can see how this stock, pretty much after the first half of the day, completely died out, right? It's at the same price that it was at 1140. So you're not really missing too much downside here. Conversely, why did I take a stock like FTRE? Yeah, so I had a little bit more upside here. I certainly would have gotten out at this 1135 candle, super high R volume, big doji here. Well, FTRE, big move down, and it was compressing. So this is the contra cycle, and then we get the break of compression over here. All of these buyers, these bottom fishers here, get flushed out, and I can really ride that move down. So that's why I can take FTRE later, because I know that we have a strong move, and I'm entering the bearish cycle very, very early in the cycle. Very, very early in the cycle. And I can take some nice profits on that guy. And this stock, again, it's going to ignore the market. We have a post-earnings breakdown. Huge bearish candle on this stock. I mean, it's a beautiful trade. I don't have a ton of swing confidence in my opinion. It's just a massive candle. It's made a big move. But that's why I feel confident, right? It hasn't made a lot of moves. It was spending all this time digesting the gains, and now it's making the move later in the day, and that's where you can get a lot more profit potential and probability in your favor. Okay, so what positions do we have today? Well, we have MRK still. MRK bouncing up to that AVWAP-E, rejecting a little bit here. Fairly weak relative to the market in my opinion, but let's just look at more on a D1 basis. Pull back a little bit, that's fine. Testing the highs from this candle. Still feel totally fine in this trade. Not worried about it at all. Qualcomm gap down. Has some buyers here, but has been dead, unable to really test that 200-day SMA. Stock has been reacting to that level. So far looks like it is holding this upward sloping trend line. I'm watching to see if this upward sloping trend line ends up getting broken. Let me go to the M30 here. That's just a little bit too tiny to see. Okay, QQQ is doing something. Yep, so we're testing this trend line. We bounced off here. Have this upward sloping channel as well. So I'd like to see us get through this level. But again, be zoomed out on these swing trades. Wells Fargo starting to leak today. Let's take a look at this guy. Oh yeah, beautiful candle here. Test, 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 rejection. As soon as the market starts to fail, Wells Fargo has been inching lower. Quite weak today. I like what I'm seeing in this stock. I'm not sure if I want to add to the trade right now. I'm going to see how it closes, how the market closes. It's good. I'd like to see a little bit more market weakness in my opinion. Add with some momentum to it. And I have a couple of swings, so I may not want to size up in terms of total account position too much, but I like what I see in Wells Fargo. So, all right, with all that being said, pick of the day is going to be ALB as a swing short. Couple reasons for this. For one, we talked about the very weak bearish chart, right? You broke through here. Bearish trend, compress, 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 post-earnings breakdown, another compression, and then a breakdown. So we can really sell this into some strength here. Or we can probably get it on the compression break, not too overextended, and then sell maybe into some strength here. There's also a stock that is basic mats. I always think this is actually Albertsons, but it's not at all. Basic mats, so it's a different sector than what we have over here, which gives me some conviction into swinging this chart. So that's going to be our pick for today. I'm going to wait to see how it closes. I'd love to get in. Yeah, looks like we have a long compression here. So I'll watch to see what it does in the last, hour, half hour of the day. Maybe get in somewhere around the $76 level. Maybe on a sell signal here. So that's probably what I'd do. But ALB is going to be your short of the day. Swing short for today. We're going to add it to our picks. Market is slowing down a little bit. Stock is beautiful setup. We'd probably use the compression, perhaps the top of this candle here as our stop. Lean on that. We also have the top of compression, 8 EMA, AVWAP-E, also to lean on here. A couple of other nice picks that I want to call out. EL starting to accelerate down. Beautiful move. I think a PDS would work great on that. Wolf fantastic move as well, starting to break through that compression. WBA, oh yeah, this is a beautiful setup here. Just getting through this compression level here. I actually, oh boy, this is something I really, really like. I'm not gonna lie, I really like that. There is some news. CVS is decent, has to really kind of confirm through that level. It's between WBA and ALB. Now WBA, it is sort of in that healthcare, technically the healthcare sector, although it's a different industry. So there's not a lot of overlap with MRK, right? MRK does not really it's not in retail pharmacy basically. So, but this is a beautiful setup, right? Test. You can see how we're making the lower highs. Now we're breaking through this horizontal compression very early in the move. Oh boy, do I recommend it? Do I not recommend it? I'm gonna recommend it. We're going it. This setup is too beautiful. I cannot ignore it. So WBA, we're also gonna take on this, and I think we're going to be capped out on positions here. I mean, I'm going to recommend both WBA and ALB as swing shorts. I'm going to add these, add to watch list, YouTube picks. Okay, and that's pretty much my swing cap. Sorry, let's go to my YouTube picks. So we're pretty much at our swing cap here. 5 picks, pretty spread out. Any more than this is just a lot to manage, and I personally don't feel comfortable taking more than 5. That's kind of my aggressive limit, so we're capped out here. If there's any other ones, we can trade small size, or we can do something like a PDS. So those are our 2 swing shorts. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're going to take a look at how our swings are doing on tomorrow's video, and we'll take from there. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all on Tuesday.